Hello and welcome back. My name is Dr. Emma, and today I want to gently walk you through something most people don't think twice about: your morning oatmeal. For many older adults, oatmeal is more than just a breakfast. It's a daily habit. It's warm, filling, and often recommended by doctors for heart and digestive health. But here's what most people over 60 don't realize. What you mix into your oatmeal might be quietly working against your health. Over the years, I've seen many patients who eat oatmeal every day and still struggle with things like bloating, fatigue, unstable blood sugar, or even poor medication absorption. And almost always, the issue isn't the oats themselves. The problem lies in the ingredients that get stirred in. Some of the most common oatmeal mix-ins, like orange juice, sweetened nut butters, flavored yogurts, or dried fruits, can interfere with digestion, spike your blood sugar, or even block important nutrients from doing their job. This is especially true after 60, when your body becomes more sensitive to sugar, acidity, and the way foods interact with medications. This isn't a message of fear. Oatmeal is still one of the best breakfasts you can choose. But small, simple changes to what you add can make a world of difference in how you feel. So in this video, I'll walk you through 7 foods you should avoid mixing into your oatmeal after 60, and what to use instead. We'll talk about how your digestion changes with age, how common food combinations can work against you, and how to build a better, safer breakfast that supports your energy, digestion, and long-term health. Remember, these aren't harsh rules. They're gentle suggestions rooted in science, real patient experiences, and simple ways to help you age well with confidence. Let's begin by understanding why food combinations matter so much more as we get older. As we age, our bodies don't process food the same way they used to. The enzymes that help break down food become less active. Stomach acid decreases, gut motility slows down, even our saliva production lessens. This means that the way our body digests, absorbs, and responds to food becomes slower, more fragile, and more easily thrown off balance. This is especially important when it comes to food combinations. You see, some foods naturally help each other out. They enhance nutrient absorption, keep digestion smooth, and provide long-lasting energy. But other combinations, like mixing a fiber-heavy grain with high-sugar fruits or acidic liquids, can do the opposite. They might block absorption, spike blood sugar, or interfere with your medications. Take fiber, for example. Oats are high in soluble fiber, which is excellent for cholesterol and blood sugar control. But when you pair fiber with certain medications, like thyroid drugs, iron supplements, or even calcium pills, it can trap those medicines in the digestive tract and prevent them from being absorbed properly. That means you could be taking your medication exactly as prescribed and still not getting the benefit. Another common issue is how aging bodies respond to sugar. After 60, insulin sensitivity declines. This means your body doesn't handle carbohydrate and sugar combinations as well as it used to. When you eat something like oatmeal with sweetened dried fruit and a glass of orange juice, your blood sugar may spike quickly and crash later, leaving you feeling weak, shaky, or tired. Even digestion becomes more reactive. A younger stomach might handle citrus juice, dairy, and oats all at once without trouble, but an older system may experience bloating, reflux, or cramping from the same combination. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. Your digestive system is simply asking for gentler care. There's also the issue of inflammation. Certain food combinations, especially those with added sugars, artificial ingredients, or low-quality fats, can trigger low-grade inflammation. This isn't always obvious, but over time it contributes to joint stiffness, brain fog, and even heart issues. So when we talk about oatmeal combinations, we're really talking about your whole system: your heart, your gut, your energy, your medications. They're all affected by what you put into your bowl each morning. The good news is that once you understand which mix-ins to skip, it becomes incredibly easy to build a better breakfast. And when you do, you'll likely feel the difference in a matter of days. Now, let's look at the first food you may want to leave out of your oatmeal bowl after 60. Food number 1, orange juice. Orange juice may seem like a fresh, healthy start to the day. After all, it's full of vitamin C, and for decades it's been marketed as the perfect breakfast drink. But for older adults, especially those who eat oatmeal in the morning, orange juice can quietly work against your health. First, let's talk about sugar. Orange juice is very high in natural sugar and has little to no fiber to slow it down. When paired with oatmeal, which is already a carbohydrate-heavy food, you're doubling down on glucose. This combination can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar followed by a sharp crash. And after 60, when blood sugar control becomes more delicate, this can lead to fatigue, shakiness, or even dizziness later in the morning. Next is acidity. Orange juice is highly acidic, and as we age, our stomach lining becomes more sensitive. Drinking something acidic along with warm, starchy oatmeal can lead to heartburn, indigestion, or even reflux, especially if you're prone to digestive issues. Now, let's talk about nutrient interaction. If you take iron or calcium supplements in the morning, orange juice might seem helpful because vitamin C helps absorb iron. But here's the catch. The fiber in oatmeal can block that absorption. So instead of helping, this combo may actually cancel out the benefits of both your food and your supplement. So what can you do instead? Start with a gentle drink. Warm water with a splash of lemon, unsweetened herbal tea, or plain filtered water are excellent choices. If you enjoy citrus flavor, try eating a few orange slices later in the day when you're not eating fiber-heavy meals. The goal isn't to give up foods you love. It's to space them out and combine them in a way that supports your body, not confuses it. Let's move on to the second food on our list, dairy milk, a comforting classic that may not be as comforting as it seems. Food number 2, dairy milk. And oatmeal have been a pair for generations. It's warm, creamy, and familiar. But after 60, many people develop a quiet sensitivity to dairy without realizing it. This can lead to subtle but bothersome symptoms that make mornings harder than they need to be. Lactose intolerance tends to increase with age. Even if you drank milk every day in your 30s and 40s without issue, your digestive system may now produce less lactase, the enzyme needed to break down milk sugar. When lactose isn't digested properly, it ferments in the gut and causes bloating, cramping, gas, and sometimes even nausea. When you combine dairy milk with high-fiber oatmeal, it slows down digestion even further. The fiber thickens, the milk sits heavier, and your stomach may feel uncomfortable or sluggish for hours. Beyond digestion, dairy can also be inflammatory for some people, especially those dealing with arthritis or joint pain. Some studies suggest that the proteins in cow's milk can trigger low-grade inflammation in sensitive individuals, which adds to stiffness and discomfort. This doesn't mean all dairy is bad. Some older adults tolerate it just fine. But if you notice that your stomach feels heavy or your joints ache more on days when you eat dairy, it may be worth trying a break from it. Instead, consider switching to plant-based alternatives like unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or lactose-free milk. These options are lighter, easier to digest, and often fortified with calcium and vitamin D, which are both essential after 60. Remember, the goal of your morning meal is to nourish you, not weigh you down. A simple swap in your oatmeal routine might bring more comfort and energy to the rest of your day. Now, let's talk about a topping that many people add for sweetness, dried fruits. But as you'll see in the next section, they're not always as harmless as they seem. Food. Number 3, dried fruits with added sugar. Dried fruits like raisins, cranberries, dates, and figs have long been considered a healthy topping for oatmeal. They're easy to sprinkle on, naturally sweet, and come from fruit. So many people assume they're automatically good for you. But after 60, the story changes a bit. While dried fruits can offer some nutrients and fiber, the way they affect your body especially when mixed with oatmeal, can quietly work against your health. First, let's talk about sugar concentration. When fruit is dried, it loses its water, but the sugar remains. This means a small handful of dried fruit can contain the sugar equivalent of an entire orange or apple, but without the volume to fill you up or the water to slow down absorption. Worse, still, many packaged dried fruits are coated in added sugar or glucose syrup to enhance flavor and shelf life. This turns a seemingly healthy food into a sugar spike waiting to happen, especially when combined with carbohydrate-rich oatmeal. That double load of fast-digesting carbs can lead to a sudden rise in blood sugar, followed by a drop in energy, focus, and mood. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Eleanor, who was 73 when we had this conversation. She was proud of her morning routine. She started each day with oatmeal, a splash of sweetened almond milk, a spoonful of honey, and a handful of dried cranberries. It felt healthy, tasted good, and was easy to prepare, but Eleanor kept experiencing mid-morning fatigue, shakiness, and cravings for sweets. She couldn't understand why she felt so unsteady just a few hours after breakfast. After reviewing her routine, the issue became clear. She was unknowingly loading her system with concentrated sugar first thing in the morning, causing blood sugar spikes and crashes. We made some gentle changes. I asked her to swap the sweetened almond milk for unsweetened, skip the honey, and replace the dried cranberries with a half cup of fresh blueberries. The difference was noticeable within a week. Eleanor told me she felt more balanced, had fewer cravings, and didn't feel the same afternoon crash she'd grown used to. The lesson here is not to fear dried fruit, but to use it wisely. If you enjoy it, choose unsweetened varieties and limit the portion to no more than 1 tablespoon. And better yet, use fresh fruits that naturally contain water and fiber. These slow digestion and reduce the impact on blood sugar. Here are some great alternatives to try in your oatmeal. Blueberries, full of antioxidants and low in sugar banana. Slices provide potassium and sweetness chopped apple or pear, high in fiber and crunch grated carrot with cinnamon, like a breakfast version of carrot cake. These options not only offer sweetness, but also support digestion, energy, and blood sugar control, making them a better match for your morning oats. Food. Number 4, flavored yogurt and oatmeal. It sounds like a perfect pairing, right? You get fiber from the oats and protein and creaminess from the yogurt. But not all yogurts are created equal, and when it comes to flavored yogurt, seniors need to be extra cautious. The problem with most flavored yogurts is that they contain a high amount of added sugar. One small container of fruit-flavored yogurt can contain up to 18 grams of sugar or more, and that's before you've added fruit, honey, or milk to your oatmeal. When flavored yogurt is stirred into oatmeal, you're combining multiple sources of sugar and carbs. That combination can spike blood glucose quickly, which is especially concerning for older adults who may be dealing with insulin resistance or prediabetes, even if they haven't been diagnosed yet. It's also worth mentioning that flavored yogurts often contain artificial flavorings, thickeners, and stabilizers. These are added to improve texture and shelf life, but can irritate sensitive digestive systems. Some seniors report gas, bloating, or cramping after eating certain brands of yogurt, and the source is often hidden in the fine print of the ingredients list. What's the better option? Look for plain Greek yogurt, either low-fat or full-fat, depending on your dietary needs. Greek yogurt is naturally higher in protein and lower in sugar. It's also thicker and more filling, making it a great base for a more balanced breakfast. Here's a tip. If plain yogurt feels too tart or bland, try mixing in a pinch of cinnamon fresh fruit slices, a few crushed walnuts or almonds, a drizzle of pure vanilla extract. These add flavor and texture without the sugar overload. For added digestion support, look for yogurt that includes live active cultures, or try kefir, a probiotic-rich fermented dairy drink that blends well with oats. And remember, even with healthy yogurt, portion size matters. Stick to about half, a cup, especially when combining it with oatmeal, fruit, and other toppings. Flavored yogurt may look appealing, but behind the colorful labels and fruit images, there's often more sugar than dessert. Stick with simple, nourishing options that let your oatmeal shine. Food, number 5. Peanut butter with added oils. Nut butter, especially peanut butter, is often added to oatmeal for flavor, creaminess, and a dose of healthy fat. But here's something many people don't realize. Not all nut butters are the same, and some of them can quietly harm your health. The biggest concern with commercial peanut butters is that many are made with hydrogenated oils, also known as trans fats. These oils are added to improve texture and shelf life, but they come with a cost. They can raise bad cholesterol, LDL, increase inflammation, and put added strain on your heart and arteries. For seniors, that matters even more. As we age, inflammation becomes a bigger driver of health problems. Joint pain, digestive issues, blood pressure, and fatigue can all be linked to chronic low-grade inflammation. And small daily choices, like your brand of peanut butter, can make a bigger difference than you might expect. Here's how to check. Look at the ingredient list on the back of the jar. If you see words like partially hydrogenated oil, palm oil, or vegetable oil, those are signs that the product contains added fats that don't belong in your oatmeal. Some peanut butters are also loaded with added sugar or corn syrup, which again worsens blood sugar control and adds calories without nutrition. What's the safer choice? Choose natural peanut butter, the kind with just 1 or 2 ingredients, peanuts and maybe salt. These may separate over time. You'll see oil rise to the top, but that's a good sign. It means the product is minimally processed and closer to what your body can recognize and digest easily. Other great options include almond butter, rich in vitamin E and magnesium, cashew butter, slightly sweeter and very creamy, sunflower seed butter, good for those with nut allergies, and you don't need a large amount. Just 1 tablespoon of natural nut butter stirred into warm oats adds healthy fat, protein, and long-lasting fullness, without the downsides of processed spreads. If you prefer a crunch, you can also top your oatmeal with a few whole nuts or seeds instead of a spread. Walnuts, almonds, chia seeds, and flax seeds all offer brain and heart benefits, especially for older adults. The goal is simple: nourish your body, reduce inflammation, and support energy. And that starts with small swaps that protect your heart, your digestion, and your overall strength. Food, number 6, artificially sweetened protein. Powders. In recent years, protein powders have become a popular addition to breakfast, especially for older adults who want to preserve muscle mass, support bone strength, or simply feel fuller for longer. On the surface, this makes sense. Protein is essential after 60, but not all protein powders are created equal, and some, especially when mixed with oatmeal, can cause more problems than they solve. The biggest issue? Artificial sweeteners and chemical additives. Many protein powders, especially those marketed for weight loss or muscle support, are flavored with sucralose, aspartame, acesulfame potassium, or sugar alcohols like erythritol. While these ingredients are technically calorie-free, they can disrupt gut bacteria, cause bloating or gas, and even affect appetite regulation in older adults. Some people also experience headaches, dizziness, or brain fog after consuming artificial sweeteners regularly. Though this can vary from person to person, in addition to sweeteners, many powders contain gums, thickeners, preservatives, and anti-caking agents that make them harder to digest, especially for seniors with sensitive stomachs, slow digestion, or existing gut issues. If you're adding protein powder to your oats in the morning, it's worth taking a closer look. Check the label for ingredients you can pronounce. If the list is long and full of unfamiliar terms, your body may have a harder time processing it. So, what should you use instead? If you enjoy smoothies or high-protein breakfasts, choose a powder that is unsweetened or lightly sweetened with monk fruit or stevia, if tolerated. free of gums, fillers, and artificial flavors, made from clean sources. Pea protein, hemp, brown rice, or grass-fed whey alternatively. You can skip the powder and add whole food protein sources to your oatmeal, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese chia, or flaxseed chopped nuts, a poached egg on the side. These provide natural protein and nutrients that your body can recognize and absorb more efficiently, without the risk of side effects or gut disruption. Oatmeal is a gentle, warming food, but it becomes less helpful when loaded with artificial chemicals. Keep it clean, simple, and nourishing, and your body will thank you. Food number 7. Certain medications with oatmeal is rich in fiber, and that's a good thing. Fiber supports digestion, regulates cholesterol, and helps keep blood sugar steady. But what many people don't realize is that fiber can interfere with the absorption of certain medications, and that includes common prescriptions taken by older adults. When you eat a high-fiber meal like oatmeal too close to certain medications, the fiber can bind to the drug and reduce how much of it gets absorbed into your bloodstream. This means the medication may not work as well, even though you took it correctly. Medications most commonly affected include thyroid hormones like levothyroxine, iron supplements, calcium supplements, certain antibiotics, osteoporosis. Medications like alendronate, for example. Taking your thyroid medication with oatmeal, or even within 30 minutes of it, can lead to inconsistent hormone levels in your blood. This may show up as fatigue, weight changes, or mood swings, all without realizing the cause. What's the solution? Time and spacing. If you take sensitive medications, try to wait at least 60 minutes before eating oatmeal, or take the medication after your oatmeal if directed by your doctor. Always follow your provider's specific guidance, but be aware that fiber-rich meals should be separated from certain pills. Also, be cautious with what you mix into your oatmeal. Adding high-calcium foods, like dairy or fortified plant milk, can block iron absorption. Combining oats with supplements or yogurt at the same time may lessen their effectiveness. Here's what I often tell my patients. Let oatmeal be its own meal. Let medications be their own moment. This approach keeps things simple and avoids unintentional nutrient or medication interference. If you're unsure whether your medications interact with fiber, bring it up at your next doctor's visit or pharmacy stop. It's an easy fix, and it may improve how well your medications work moving forward. Let's see my checklist. What to mix with oatmeal instead. Now that we've talked about the common oatmeal mix-ins that can quietly disrupt your health, let's focus on what you can add instead. The nourishing, senior-friendly ingredients that actually help your body stay energized, balanced, and strong. Oatmeal on its own is a wonderful start. It's warm, easy to digest, and full of soluble fiber that supports cholesterol, heart health, and blood sugar regulation. But when we build on it with the right ingredients, it becomes a complete and sustaining meal, one that supports your digestion, muscles, and energy from the inside out. First, it helps to add a source of healthy fat. A small amount of fat in your oatmeal slows digestion slightly, which helps you feel full longer and supports brain and joint health. Healthy fats also make the meal more satisfying. Whether it's a spoonful of natural almond butter, a few crushed walnuts stirred in, or even a small drizzle of flax oil, these gentle additions are easy for your body to process and can make a big difference in how you feel throughout the morning. Next, you want to include some protein. After 60, your body needs protein more than ever to prevent muscle loss and fatigue, and to keep blood sugar steady. Oatmeal on its own doesn't offer much protein, but it pairs beautifully with small additions like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, chia seeds, or a soft-boiled egg served on the side. If you prefer a powdered supplement, choose one that's unsweetened and easy to digest. But for many, whole food options are the most reliable and soothing. Naturally sweet toppings can be part of the picture too. Just choose fresh, water-rich fruits instead of concentrated dried ones. Sliced bananas, blueberries, grated apples, or even soft pears work beautifully. These fruits add gentle sweetness, natural fiber, and important vitamins, all without overwhelming your system. Flavor is important too. You don't have to load your oatmeal with sugar to enjoy it. A little cinnamon, a dash of vanilla, or a light sprinkle of nutmeg can add warmth and depth to your bowl. You can even stir in a little unsweetened cocoa powder if you enjoy a richer flavor in the mornings. A pinch of salt, used carefully, can also help bring out the natural sweetness of the ingredients without the need for added sugars. For those who want to support digestion further, consider finishing your oatmeal with ingredients like ground flaxseed or a small spoonful of probiotic-rich kefir on the side. These choices can gently assist your gut, reduce bloating, and support regularity, all of which become more important as we age. Putting it all together, a nourishing bowl of oatmeal might look something like this: a base of plain oats topped with fresh fruit, a spoonful of nut butter, a sprinkle of seeds, and a dash of cinnamon. It's not complicated, but it's complete, and it can help you feel full, steady, and well-nourished for hours. These simple swaps and additions don't take much time, but they do have a meaningful impact on how your body feels and functions throughout the day. And the best part is, they're easy to adjust based on what you enjoy and what works best for your digestion, energy, and lifestyle. The small choices you make at breakfast matter. And the good news is, it's never too late to make them work for you. Let's take a moment to reflect. You don't have to stop eating oatmeal. You don't need to be afraid of your food. But as your body changes, your approach to meals needs to change with it, especially after 60. Breakfast isn't just about filling your stomach. It's about how your body absorbs, digests, and responds to what you eat, and whether that food gives you the steady, gentle energy you deserve to carry through your day. By learning to avoid just a few common mix-ins, orange juice, flavored yogurts, sweetened dried fruits, artificial protein powders, you're protecting your digestion, your blood sugar, your heart, and even the medications that are supporting your health. And by replacing those with simple, healing options, like fresh berries, nuts, chia, flax, or natural yogurt, you're giving your body exactly what it needs to age well. Remember what I always say, your body may be older, but it's still listening. It still responds to the care you give it. Even small shifts in your routine, a new topping here, a new habit there, can create real change over time. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let me know. Was there a mix-in you've been using without realizing the effects? Or is there one small change you plan to try starting tomorrow? And if you haven't already, subscribe to Aging Well with Dr. Emma. Each day, I share calm, practical health guidance just for seniors. Because aging should come with clarity, not confusion. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope today's video gave you something simple, gentle, and useful to support your health. Remember, aging is not about slowing down. It's about listening to your body and giving it what it needs to thrive. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.